My dear brothers and sisters, we have heard the gospel. It's a very familiar gospel, the story of transfiguration of the Lord before his three chosen disciples. Why did the Lord that? What is the meaning of transfiguration for him? And what is the meaning of the transfiguration for the disciples? Bakit nagbagong anyo ang Panginoon? Ang unang-unang dahilan ay gusto niyang ipakita ang kanyang pagka-Diyos. That Jesus is not an ordinary teacher. That Jesus is not an ordinary rabbi. Jesus is divine. This manifestation of his divinity was important for him, also for the apostles, also for the disciples. Why? Because Jesus, through the transfiguration, wanted to assure his disciples that do not lose heart. Do not lose faith. Yes, the Son of Man will undergo trial. The Son of Man will be put into death. The Son of Man will die. But in the end, after 3 days, He will rise again. Gustong bigyang lakas ng loob ng Panginoon ang kanyang mga alagad. Huwag kayong matakot sa pagdaraanan ko, sapagkat hindi ito magwawakas sa kalungkutan, hindi ito magwawakas sa kabiguan, hindi ito magwawakas sa kamatayan. Ang kamatayan ko ay magwawakas sa muling pagkabuhay. At yung nakita ninyo ngayon, yung luwalhating nakita ninyo ngayon, yan ay wala kung ikukumpara sa kaluwalhatiang mapapasa akin matapos na ako'y muling mabuhay. Do not lose heart, because the end of the story is not failure. The end of the story is victory, triumph, glorification. At siguro yan din ang gustong sabihin sa atin ng Panginoon. Ano man ang pagtitiis na dinaranas mo ngayon, kung ito'y ginagawa mo para sa Diyos, kung ano man ang mga pag-uusig na nararanasan mo dahil ikaw ay tapat na alagad ng Diyos, huwag kang mag-alala. Ang naghihintay ay tagumpay. So that is the reason for transfiguration. He did not do it to show off. He did it for the sake of the disciples, to give them courage, to strengthen their faith. But that's just an introduction. The actual reflections that I offer to you are coming from 2 points. Number 1 is this. When Jesus took Peter, John, and James to the mountain to pray, it was said that while he was praying, his face changed in appearance and his clothing became dazzling white. Habang nagdarasal ang Panginoon, nagbago ang kanyang anyo. Naging busilak ang kanyang kasuotan. First lesson, prayer should be transformative. Prayer should bring about change. Ang totoong nagdarasal, nagbabago. Kasi ninyo, habang si Jesus ay nagdarasal, nagbago ang kanyang anyo. Naging busilak ang kanyang kasuotan. Ang tunay na nagdarasal, hindi pwedeng hindi magbago. Linggo-linggo tayo nagsisimba. Linggo-linggo tayo nagkukomunyon kapag tayo nagsisimba. Nagdarasal tayo ng rosaryo. Nagbabasa tayo ng Bible. Nagdarasal tayo. Ang tanong ay ito, may nagbabago ba sa atin? Sapagkat ang tunay na sukatan ng tunay na pagdarasal ay pagbabago. Prayer is or should be transformative. Genuine prayer should be transformative. Kaya mga kapatid, kung simba ka ng simba, pero chismosa ka pa rin, may kulang. Kung simba ka ng simba, pagkatapos tagapagkalat ka rin ng fake news, may kulang. Kung simba ka ng simba, pagkatapos nangangaliwa ka, may kulang. Kung simba ka ng simba, pero hindi ka nagbabayad ng utang mo, may kulang. Nangingiti kayo. Tama ba? Tinamaan ba? That's my purpose. Tamaan. Kaya sorry na lang sa mga tinamaan. Because that is the problem with us. We Filipinos, we say and proud of it, saying the Philippines is the only Christian country in Southeast Asia, which is wrong. Of course, there is East Timor, Pero sinasabi natin, we are 85 Christians, Catholics. But, bakit ganito pa rin tayo? Bakit ganito pa rin tayo? Sa mga kapatid, suriin natin ang ating panalangin. Suriin natin ang ating buhay pagdarasal. Kasi kung natatapos ang pagdarasal natin sa pagsambit ng panalangin, pero hindi naghahatid ng pagbabago, something is missing. While he was praying, Jesus' face changed in appearance. Ulitin ko, ang tunay na pagdarasal, naghahatid ng pagbabago. The second point is this. In the latter part of the gospel, it said that from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my chosen one. Listen to him." The voice affirms the divinity of Jesus. The voice affirms that Jesus is the Son of God. And what did the voice say? Listen to him. Pakinggan ninyo siya. It's the same when Jesus was baptized. When he went out of the water, it was also said, the voice was also saying, "This is my beloved Son. Listen to him." And when Mary, in the gospel, gave instruction to the servants to fill up to help. And what did Mary say to the servants? Do whatever he tells you. Di ba? Sabi ng mahal na ina, gawin niyo kung anong iutos niya. Listen. Perhaps during this time, this week has been very, very extraordinary. And somehow, it showed again how divided we are as a nation. Maybe that is what we should be doing. Kampi ka man o hindi, iba man ang iyong paniniwala, maganda sigurong tanungin natin ang ating sarili, ang bawat isa sa atin, ano ang sinasabi ni Jesus sa iyo? Ano ang sinasabi ni Jesus sa akin? Ano ang sinasabi ni Jesus sa atin? Pakinggan natin siya. More than listening to what we read or what we hear from Facebook and news, sometimes fake, more than listening to what other people are saying, eto yan eh. Maybe, what we should do is listen to Jesus. Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you want us to do? Because if everybody will listen to Jesus, there will be no division. Because we are listening to one voice. Kaya tayo nagkakahati-hati eh. Iba-iba yung pinakikinggan natin eh. Baka isa lamang ang dapat nating pakinggan. Si Jesus. Sa pamilya, baka kayo hindi nagkakasundo ay dahil sa iba't iba ang inyong pinakikinggan. Bakit hindi ninyo pare-parehong pakinggan si Jesus? Listen to Him. Sa opisina, sa mga parokya, sa simbahan, baka kaya tayo nagkakahati-hati eh. Iba't iba ang ating pinakikinggan. Listen to Jesus. God does not want division. He does not want to see His people divided. That is why God said, listen to Jesus. Yan ang hamon sa atin ng mga kaganapan itong mga nakarang araw. Hating-hati tayo. Hating-hati tayo. As a nation, we are very, very divided. Perhaps it's about time. Let us listen to Jesus. Amen.